Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress. The 2017 Tata Steel tournament is upon us, one of the biggest events of the year. This year with Carlsen, with Karjakin and with Wesley So, who won the Grand Chess Tour in 2016. So it promises to be a great tournament and I will be doing highlight videos after every round. To get in a mood, this is a new installment of the opening debacles from earlier Tata Steel tournaments. This is Larry Christensen with white against Anatoly Karpov with black. Christensen, US Grandmaster, and Karpov, of course, a former world champion. This is from the 1993 Tata Steel tournament, which was back then still called the Hoogovens tournament. There were knockout matches and this was the first game of the second round. White Christensen, black Karpov. Christensen opened with d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight f3, b6, queen's Indian, a2, a3, and then the move bishop a6, attacking the pawn on c4. White decides to protect the pawn with queen c2, and now black plays the bishop back to b7, which looks very odd. But black claims that the queen is not very well placed on c2 and that in fact it has not cost him a tempo. This is all very subtle. Christensen played knight c3 and c5. e2, e4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, this is all theory. Knight c6, knight takes, bishop takes, bishop f4, developing the bishop. Knight h5, attacking that bishop, and bishop e3. And now on the 11th move, Karpov plays bishop d6. A very sound move positionally. He wants to get control of the f4 square, maybe play knight f4 later or bishop f4 if white allows that. The position is very quiet and there doesn't seem to be any danger. But as the saying goes, loose pieces drop off, and both the bishop on d6 and the knight on h5 are loose pieces, which means they are not protected by other pieces. And here Larry Christensen played queen c2 to d1 back to the original square, and this obviously was missed by Karpov because now he resigned. He's just losing a piece. Both the bishop and the knight are hanging and he's not able to defend them both in one move. So he's going to lose one of them. For example, let's look at a variation. Bishop e5 and then queen takes the piece. Then black can try queen f6 and the threat is bishop takes c3 and then bishop takes e4, winning at least a pawn back for his trouble. Not that that would do him any good, but that might be something that black could try. But then after bishop d2, that doesn't work. Because after bishop takes c3, white takes back with the bishop. And because the queen is hanging, he does not have even time to take that pawn on e4. So nothing to play for after losing the piece, and Karpov resigned. What he should have done, instead of bishop d6, he could have played moves like queen b8 or bishop c5, which are perfectly normal moves, and then the position is about equal. Quite a shock for Karpov, but he's not easily shaken, and the next day he won the second game of the mini-match, won the tiebreak, and went on to win the 1993 Hoogovens tournament. It takes a lot more to break the former world champion Anatoly Karpov. He was tough as nails, as they say. Let's look at an even shorter game, as we're talking about opening debacles. This is from the 1971 Hoogovens tournament, which is now the Tata Steel tournament. The 9th world champion Tigran Petrosian has white, and the Dutch master, who is now a grandmaster, Hans-Ree, is black. Petrosian opened with c4, Rey onset e5, knight c3, knight f6, knight f3, knight c6. All knights are developed. g3, bishop b4, and knight d5, a theoretical line. Rey took on d5 and c takes d5. And here the main line is to play knight d4. The knight is attacked, of course, so has to move. Knight d4, and then after knight takes, e takes, for example queen c2, and we have an equal position on the board. Theoretical line, and the game still really has to start. But Rey did not play knight d4. He played another move. He played e5, e4, counter-attacking white's knight, and that is a big blunder. And why is it a big blunder? After d takes c6, then e takes f3 is forced. We've played 7 moves and the game is suddenly over. 8, queen d1 to b3, and Rey resigned. What's going on here? Why did he resign? Let's have a look. The bishop is attacked, of course, and if you, for example, play the bishop back to e7, then suddenly we have a problem, because c takes b7 forks rook and bishop, and we're losing material. You could try rook b8, because it looks like the pawn is pinned, because of the rook attacking the queen, but there's simply b takes c8 queen, and if you take the queen on b3, then queen takes, king takes, a takes b3, and you are a lot of material down. If instead of taking the queen on b3 you take the queen back, then there's simply queen takes f3, and you're a full piece down and nothing to play for. So with 8 moves, this is the shortest top level game from the history of the Hoogovens tournament, which later became the Chorus tournament and is now the Tata Steel tournament. Hope you enjoyed these 2 opening debacles, and hope you're looking forward to the 2017 Tata Steel tournament. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe to my channel, and I'm looking forward to your comments. I also want to tell you about a new channel I've started called Chess to Progress. There's a number of videos there. It's more aimed at novice and improving players. I get a lot of comments from people, very nice comments, who are saying they have just learned the game of chess, or they tell me they have played many years ago and are now picking it up again. Well, if you want to have a look at the Chess to Progress channel, the positions are a bit more simple, not as complex as on the Chess to Impress channel, so you may enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching.